you. Dalawa po yung lumalabas sa social media na kami po ay pinapartangan na may kasalanan. Number one, kasalanan namin bakit wini-withdraw namin yung 89.9 billion sa PhilHealth. What can you say about this?
I disagree. I don't think it's your fault po. I disagree. Hindi niya po kasalanan. Yan ang view namin.
Pwede ko po bang malaman para sa kalaman ng lahat ng Pilipino, yung po bang 89.9 billion, meron po ba doon contribution ng mga Filipino na naka-enroll sa PhilHealth? Para maliwanag.
Yes, Mr. Lim Siaco.
The 89.9 billion, Mr. Chair, ay hindi po nanggaling sa direct.
Hindi galing sa contribution.
Opo.
Okay. Yun ay galing sa government subsidy.
Opo.
Okay. So in short, dun sa mga binabayad ng mga member, kahit 5 po doon, intact.
Yes.
Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. At yun ay nandoon pa rin sa inyo?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Now,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
pwede po bang i-assure nyo yung mga Pilipino na enroll dyan na wala po silang dapat katakutan dahil yung status or financial status ng PhilHealth ay kaya pa naman? Kasi yun po ang lumalabas sa social media eh.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Kong Akop, Honorable Kong Akop, we can assure the Filipino people that PhilHealth is financially healthy and that we can continue with all of our plans on increasing and enhancing the benefit packages po. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. The other issue is that kasalanan din ng Congress kung bakit zero ang budget ng PhilHealth. What can you say about that?
Again, we disagree po. Like I said in my statement earlier, we go with the wisdom of Congress and hindi niya po kasalanan yan po.
Gusto lang namin malaman kung wala po kayong budget, would it affect the operations of PhilHealth? Hindi po ba ninyo maibibigay yung dapat na maibigay sa mga members ng PhilHealth?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair. Having zero budget will not affect at all, will not hamper the operations of PhilHealth. And like I said earlier, with our plans to increase and enhance the benefit packages, hindi po maapekto po.
Thank you. The other reason why...
Kung ako, just to clarify,
Yeah, please.
hindi naman totally zero budget. Ang
Zero subsidy po.
Subsidy,
Yes.
not zero budget.
I stand
kasi
corrected.
Yes, kasi po, yung budget po ng PhilHealth, nanggagaling po to sa 6 na sources. Tama po ba? Yung unang-una po dyan, galing po yan sa sin tax collection. Number 2, 50% ng income ng government share sa PAGCOR. Tapos another 40% from charity fund like PCSO. Ang ika-4, ito na po, yung premium contributions of members. At ang ika-5, annual appropriation of the DOH. At ika-6 lamang, yung national government subsidy. Tama po ba? So, just to clarify, wala lang po kayong government subsidy. But all the rest, nasa inyo pa rin. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Mr. Chair. I stand corrected.
Okay.
It's zero
So
subsidy
it's
po.
not zero budget.
Yes.
It's zero government subsidy.
Subsidy.
Okay.
Apologies po. Yes po. Very clear po.
Yes, Congressman Ako.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Some sectors na advocates ng health, what Congress did was a violation of the law. Yung Republic Act 11223. Tama po. Why? Because of the provision na no portion of the reserve fund or income thereof shall accrue to the general fund of the national government or to any of its agencies or instrumentalities, including government-owned or controlled corporations. Yun po yung basehan nila eh. Attorney Santos, what can you say about this?
Yes, Attorney Santos, you're recognized.
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Acop, does the question pertain to the 89.9 billion transfer, Mr. Chairperson?
Yeah, yun ang basehan nila. It's against the law raw. Why? Because of this provision. Because of this provision sa Republic Act 11223.
I understand, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Acop, but before PhilHealth transferred the initial or even the succeeding amount, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Acop, we were already covered by the positive opinion of the Office of the Government Corporate Counsel. We also have the positive opinion of the GCG regarding such transfer, and we have already consulted the Commission on Audit regarding this. And Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Acop, our actions were based on laws, regulations, Mr. Chairperson. So with that, we are confident that all our actions are in accordance with law, rules, and regulations. Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative.
Thank you, Attorney. May I know if the subsidies given by government form part of the reserve fund or the income?
Mr. Chair, Honorable Acop, the subsidy of the national government is treated as premium income, premium from indirect contributors. And closing the books at the end of the year, natatransfer siya sa members' equity. Now, we set up already the reserve fund. And for year 2024, papasok dito siya sa surplus or excess, Mr. Chair.
Was there a part of the government subsidy that formed part of your reserve fund?
Mr. Chair, kung ikakalculate po natin ang yung money from the national government, Mr. Chair, Honorable Acop, ay po pwede natin masabi na that money coming from the national government dito po siya sa surplus or excess, or po pwede rin natin po sasabihin na this dahil doon nga tayo kumuha ng binalik po natin sa national government po.
I am asking this question, siguro mas maintindihan ni Attorney Santos, kasi very specific yung provision of law, no portion of the reserve fund or the income thereof. Very, very specific. Di ba, Attorney? Yes. That is why I'm asking whether yung government subsidy na binibigay ng ating pamahalaan form part of your reserve fund.
Mr. Chair, Honorable Acop, with your indulgence, anyway, may nag-file na sa Supreme Court, diba? So I think let's just wait. May kaso na po eh. So in fact, Honorable Mr. Chair, Honorable Acop, yung last tranche nga, diba, pina-TRO nila. But prior to that, may nag-file na eh. So if it's with your indulgence, antayin na lang natin kasi anyway nandun na.
I agree, Mr. President.
Thank you, sirs.
Thank
But
you.
in any event, I would
Thank
just
you, Mr.
like
Chair.
to answer your manifestation that this committee, we are not bound by the sub judice rule. So even assuming for the sake of argument that there is a case pending before judicial, quasi-judicial, or administrative, still, we can still conduct investigation in aid of legislation, just for the information of
Thank you and noted, Mr.
Your
Chair.
Honor. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
In any event, the Chair would like to recognize the last, but not the least. The Honorable Ray Reyes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, most of the questions I wanted to ask were already asked in the previous hearings, but it bears reiterating, especially to assure the public, hindi po ba? There's a reason why we had this meeting right now, because we have to assure the public of some concerns that they may have, because somebody jumped the gun in making assumptions on what will happen sa budget natin. So, back when Congressman Acop said, you could rest assured that PhilHealth will continue giving out the benefits to both members and both paying and non-paying members. Will this continue, Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Is it true also that PhilHealth has sufficient funding so that you may be able to continue paying the benefits and hospital claims?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
All right. Tama po ba ang pagkarinig ko kanina, Mr. Chair, that you have close to 700 billion pesos still at your disposal? Tama po ba, Mr. Chair, President Mandy?
The exact number, Mr. Chair, if I can allow SVP Renet to address the question.
Yes, Mr. Lim Siaco, you're recognized.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. The total assets of the corporation, Mr. Chair, is 628 billion as of September, Mr. Chair. And the investment portfolio or investable fund of the corporation is 489.5. Looking into the members' equity, again, the reserve fund is 281, and the surplus, Mr. Chair, as of October, is 150 billion, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So to simplify para sa mga nakikinig po dito at sa mga sumusubaybay, PhilHealth is liquid enough to be able to pay for any benefits of paying and non-paying members and to pay for hospital and clinic claims for providing such service.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Then, I guess the question that we need to ask is, I mean, President Mandy, I know you've only been here for 3 years, but I think so much of your team have been here, so they may have some institutional memory. Paano umabot, especially over the past 10 years, that no one of the PhilHealth board or the executive committee has even proposed to increase yung benefit packages? Could anybody answer as to why for 10 years? Kung tama po ba 10 years or baka 7 years yan na hindi kayo nag-increase ng benefit packages, despite showing na if we will be looking at your statements of financial position and financial performance, is net positive naman po yata kayo over the past 7 years. So, paano po umabot na ganun? Bakit hindi nag-increase si PhilHealth over, hindi kayo nag-increase ng benefit packages?
Yes, Attorney Santos.
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Reyes, based on records, in 2019, there was a proposal to study and increase the case rates. However, that was overtaken by the pandemic, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Reyes, and PhilHealth focused on the development of packages to address the pandemic, Mr. Chairperson. So it was only during the administration or leadership of PCO Ledesma that the study continued and resumed, Mr. Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Chair, wag po natin gagamitin yung pandemic as an excuse na hindi nyo in-increase yung benefit packages nun. Because during the same pandemic, in-increase nyo yung bonuses sa inyong executive committee. I think that was 2021. If when during the budget deliberations, lumabas yung isang executive order where you availed on either the increase of the performance incentives or yung mga benefits for the executive committee. So hindi po maaaring na pandemya yung excuse kung hindi nag-increase yung benefit packages of the members, pero yung mga executive committee nyo na naman, in-increase nyo yung mga bonuses and compensation ninyo. Okay? But let's use that. Let's uungkatin na lang natin yan at a different time. We will get to that. I'd like to focus now on the financial position. Based dun sa BESF na pinadala, can anybody give us the definition dun sa liabilities ninyo, no? Meron kayong current liabilities sa domestic creditors and meron kayong long-term liabilities. Ano po yung ibig sabihin ng current liabilities sa domestic creditors and ano yung long-term liabilities sa domestic creditors?
Mr. Chair,
Domestic creditors, meron kayong long-term liabilities. Ano po yung ibig sabihin?
Mr. Chair.
Current
Yes, Mr. Lim Siaco.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Kong Honorable Reyes, maraming salamat sa tanong. There are two classifications of our liability. We have the current, ibig sabihin, that can be payable within a year, and then long-term or non-current, that is payable beyond more than a year, Mr. Chair. Now, on the part of our financial liabilities, this is number one item under our current liabilities. This includes our ICS in course of settlement, meaning these are in-process claims, Mr. Chair. And of course, kasama rin dito yung mga RTS claims natin that the corporation is expected to pay, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Sorry, can you, for the appreciation of the public, ano pong ibig sabihin ng ICS?
ICS, Mr. Chair, this is in course of settlement, meaning ito ay claims received ng korporasyon and pinaprocess siya and then naabutan ng cut-off date, Mr. Chair. Ibig sabihin, hindi natin nabayad o hindi tumawid yung payment natin to the respective health facilities, Mr. Chair, Honorable Reyes.
Thank you. And then, Mr. Chair, what does RTS mean naman po for the appreciation of the public?
RTS, Mr. Chair, meaning return to hospital. These are claims mayroong mga for compliance or deficiencies na ibinalik ng PhilHealth to the hospital or to the facilities, Mr. Chair, Honorable Reyes.
So, yung RTS ay ito yung mga claims sa hospital na binalik ninyo, yet binubuk nyo pa rin siya na inaasahan ninyong babayaran nyo pa sa hospital. Tama po?
Tama po, Mr. Chair, Honorable Reyes.
So, Mr. Chair, kung ganun po, bakit po bumalik sa ospital yung mga claims na to at hindi na lang po bayaran diretso ng PhilHealth? The reason why, Mr. Chair, I wanted to go to this is most of the health facilities, both actually government and private, are losing confidence in PhilHealth because of your inability to settle the claims at a timely manner. Na to the point na yung iba, they're running out of business, nababangkarote sila kasi ang tagal either ng claims or nare-reject sila. Not only that, if they appeal also kay PhilHealth, parang what's the point of appealing to PhilHealth kung re-reject nyo na sila before? I think parang may disconnect po yata na kayo pa yung appeal court para sa mga rejected. So can you give us a greater appreciation kung bakit ganito po yung proseso?
Mr. Chair, Honorable Reyes, sir, to give you the committee the status of the claims processing, Mr. Chair, Kong Reyes, for year 2024 as of November 30. This report is extracted December 2, 2024, Mr. Chair. We received a total of 14,776,000 claims and we paid, bayad po siya, 12,617,000 claims, meaning 85.56% of the claims bayad po received this year, bayad within the year. Now, mayroon po still on process of 8.88% or 1,310,000 claims. And the one mentioned kanina na RTH representing 2.04% or 300,954 claims, Mr. Chair, Honorable Reyes. In other words po, this year, malaki ang improvement po ng claims processing po natin because even January, nasa 39 days pa po. Pagdating ng October, nasa 16 days po. And the average right now ay nasa 25 days po. 25 days ang processing po natin. So, meaning po ang ating constant communication with the PHA, Philippine Hospital Association, and the Philippine Private Hospital Association is parati po, very frequent, and we are discussing this one po in order for us to reduce the turnaround time in claims processing and ma-address po itong mga concerns. On the part po ng effort of the corporation to look into the claims po, we implemented through our PCEO and approved by our board chaired by Secretary Herbosa, this is what we call claims reconciliation po. And this effort, kumbaga, already on its way to reconcile po ang mga claims na ito, and we got already feedback from the hospitals and of course the big hospital and the small facilities po that nahahanap yung mga gaps in terms of information with kung saan po yung mga claims po nila, and we are expecting that by next year po tuloy-tuloy po to and palakasin pa po natin so that each and every claims of the hospital ma-address po natin. There are instances, Mr. Chair, Honorable Reyes, if po pwede po, that sa paghaharap ng PhilHealth at saka ng hospital, na-address po yung mga concerns na ito. Just recently, I got feedback, ang problema ng hospital nangongolekta sa PhilHealth, pero once nagharap po, yung claims pala ay na-return ng PhilHealth, na RTS ng PhilHealth, pero hindi ho na ibalik sa korporasyon, hindi ho na request for consideration or nag-submit ng compliance on the return to hospital. That's the reason why ang instruction ni PCO Monday at saka ng CEO palakasin yung reconciliation and engagement to the hospital, Mr. Chair, Honorable Reyes po.